Washington built the bank. Lincoln hired the police. FDR built the factory. But in 1961, the factory didn't stop running. Welcome back to the finale of our President's Day History series. We have looked at how the government market was built. Now, in this final episode, we have to look at the warning label attached to it. It is January 17th, 1961, 3 days before John F. Kennedy is sworn in. Dwight D. Eisenhower is sitting in the Oval Office, preparing to give his farewell address. He is the most popular man in America, the general who defeated Hitler, the man who oversaw the peace and prosperity of the 1950s. Everyone expects a victory lap. They expect him to talk about glory, or D-Day, or the greatness of America. But he doesn't do that. Instead, he looks into the camera, his hands shaking slightly, and he delivers the most terrifying speech in presidential history. He doesn't talk about a foreign enemy. He talks about a threat inside the United States. He warns us about the very machine we built to save ourselves. To understand why, you have to look at the world Eisenhower was leaving behind. Remember Bill Knudsen from our last episode? He built the arsenal of democracy to win World War II. But after every other war in American history, when the fighting stopped, the factories went back to making toasters and cars. But after 1945, they didn't. The Cold War had started. The threat of nuclear war was looming, so the United States decided to keep the arsenal open permanently. Eisenhower looked at this, and he realized we had created something new in the American experience, a permanent arms industry of vast proportions. He coined a phrase that night, a phrase you have heard 1,000 times, but probably never really stopped to analyze: the military-industrial complex.
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
He wasn't attacking the contractors. He wasn't saying they were evil. He knew we needed them. He knew we needed the jets and the missiles to stay free. But he was warning us about the acquisition of unwarranted influence. He realized that when an industry becomes this big, when millions of jobs and billions of dollars depend on building weapons, there is a massive pressure to keep building them, whether we need them or not. He was describing the Iron Triangle. Here is how it works, and here is where you fit in. The military wants the best weapons. The industry wants to make a profit, and Congress wants jobs for their districts. When those three forces align, they become unstoppable. They can push through contracts and programs that are massive, expensive, and sometimes totally unnecessary. Eisenhower was the ultimate insider. He knew the generals. He knew the CEOs. He knew how the game was played because he had been the referee for 8 years. And his final act as president was to blow the whistle. He told us that only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals. This is a fancy way of saying, pay attention. If you are in government contracting, this is your reality. You are part of this complex. The system Washington started with a simple contract, the system Lincoln policed with the False Claims Act, the system FDR scaled with the prime contractors, it has become the engine of the American economy. It is a system that does great good. It protects democracy. It employs millions. It creates technology like the internet and GPS. But as Eisenhower warned, it is a system that requires vigilance. It requires honest brokers. It requires people who understand that the goal isn't just to win the contract, but to serve the mission. So as we close this series, look at the timeline. George Washington taught us the government must be a reliable customer. Abraham Lincoln taught us that the government must be a strict enforcer. FDR and Bill Knudsen taught us that the government must be a massive partner. And Dwight Eisenhower taught us that the government must be a careful guardian. You are the next generation of that legacy. The vault is open. The rules are set. The factories are built. Now it's up to you to keep it running right. I'm Jason Bortz. If you enjoyed this history series and want to see more deep dives like this, hit the subscribe button and share this video with a friend. It really helps the channel. Thanks for watching.